Hello. Dividing by zero is catastrophic because stuff will happen. So what's up? The latest mystery for Sherlock Holmes. Some dude got big mad at Benedict Cumberbatch and showed up at his house. The Cucumber Patch family was home when the guy came in and kicked in the dude's iron gate and started screaming about burning the house down. He then went to the intercom that they had for their house and destroyed it with a fish knife. He did not get much further, thankfully, and everybody is safe, but kind of wild? Reportedly, not long before he showed up at the house, he went to a grocery store, bought some pita bread, and told the shopkeeper that he was gonna go burn down Benedict Cumberbatch's house. So a pretty typical trip to the grocery store. Mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks, such as pandemics and nuclear war. That was an official statement co-signed by a ton of industry leads from the AI space, essentially saying, hey, what we're building can end humanity. Now, I do want to pump the brakes here just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's pump the brakes. My first reaction to this is, no. It's just a little sus. It's a little sussy. Like a month ago, there was a different group of people that put out a statement saying we should slow down development. But the people who put out this statement didn't sign that. If I really stop and try to take this at good faith, it's probably them saying, hey, there really should be regulation about AI in place. Like, technology regulation tends to fall behind. We shouldn't do that here. Generative AI is really cool and seems very powerful, but it still has its own limitations and probably isn't going to be destroying society in the next 5 years, maybe 6. I don't mean to be just totally a pessimist, but it just kind of reeks of the same energy as cryptocurrency will change the way we do banking, or NFTs are the new thing. A lot of those people just kind of skipped over to the AI stuff when that didn't work out, and now they're saying this is the biggest thing ever. I also cannot get into it right now because I don't have a whole bunch of notes in front of me and it would take quite a long time to talk about, but there's a pretty big cult in the AI space going on right now. Like, a lot of the people at the top of AI stuff are kind of wackadoo. Take all of the shittiness of tech bro and combine that with the feeling of playing God by playing with AI, and this is what you get. Anyway, new space record. Science is happening in space as we now have 17 people in Earth's orbit. China recently sent out a group of people to their space station on like Monday that brought the tally of total people in Earth's orbit to 17. That's not going to last very long because some people are going to come back to Earth like now. So it wasn't a long-lived record, but it was a record. And it's a pretty nice thing to hear a record about doing science in space instead of most of the other records that we're setting right now. Shit's on fire. Specifically, Canada is on fire. Canada is very on fire right now. There are 7 wildfires burning in Nova Scotia, and they've had 100 more wildfires this year than last year. A pretty warm winter and a lack of snow melt recently and a lack of rain and then lightning striking and all this other stuff is kind of contributing to lots of fire. The good news is nobody has died. There have been no reported casualties from the fire. There have been some singed houses and the air quality is not very good right now, but there haven't been any casualties. Stay safe out there. Have a plan to evacuate if you're in a fire zone, and don't catch on fire. On this day in 1921, I really wanted to bring you like a fun, positive history fact, but this one's a little too important, I'm sorry. The Tulsa Race Massacre took place. While reports of how it all started kind of vary a little bit, the large story here is a giant mob of white people, deputized and armed by the state, descended upon one of the wealthiest black communities in Oklahoma. 35 square blocks of what was referred to as Black Wall Street burned to the ground. Estimates range between 36 and 300 fatalities, and thousands of people were left homeless. It is a scourge on our history and one that we should absolutely be aware of. Official investigations from the state found that the state itself was involved in this massacre. It is now required in the Oklahoma curriculum, but if you haven't heard about it, I don't blame you, because a lot of schools don't even mention it. I wonder why. Lightning round. Elizabeth Holmes of Theranos infamy, the one that claimed that she revolutionized medical science when she was really just lying, is finally going to jail. Nvidia, the computer chip company, is now a $1 trillion company. Authorities in Venice are investigating why a portion of their canal just suddenly became fluorescent green. Hell yeah, Minnesota. you've got legal weed now. The Witcher 3 has sold 50 million copies, making the whole Witcher franchise now one of the most successful game franchises in history. And finally for today, you may remember Ralph Jarl, the badass kid who got shot in the head after knocking on the wrong door. He recently made his first public appearance at an awareness event for brain injuries, and he's still a total badass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Stuff Keeps Happening at stuffkeepshappening.online for sources, bonus content, and a radiator. Just a free radiator. My name is Endeavorance. I'll be back on Friday. Take care and be well.